This episode is brought to you by Bureau, our title sponsor. With 8 vibrant locations in Miami's best neighborhoods, Bureau is the perfect co-working place to work, network, and thrive alongside other entrepreneurs, creatives, professionals, and local businesses. Find your space at bureaumiami.com.
This is so much fun. This is worth the trip down here just to talk to you guys. I don't understand why. I said to my wife the other day, these guys, every time I talk to her, she says, well, who are these guys? And so, because I told them, I said, did you tell them that they did a great job? I said, that's after I finished editing their work.
There are a lot of edits.
Well, we edited all the drug stuff out of there, right?
Yeah, I tell you, we did have some real
All the fun stuff.
all the fun stuff we had.
narcotics. By the way, and I've been meaning to actually call you guys to ask you something. I am reading. I went on about a 3-week vacation, which is the first time in my entire life since I was 8 years old.
You
and
went
I came
to Europe,
this
right?
country for 3 weeks, and I took with me. You mentioned it, and I went and bought it.
Oh,
I
boy.
bought the book, Miami Babylon.
Oh, awesome.
Have you read it?
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We interviewed the author.
So I want to meet this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hook it
I'll
up.
tell you what, I'll buy him dinner because I'm living in every page.
Oh, yeah?
Every page that I read this, and I said to my wife, this is kind of scary that I am literally, it's like, just like I talked to you candidly, this guy talks about Miami Beach and through the period, and then I remember because Andres Duani introduced me to Barbara Capitman, and I'm going through every era of the beach and Miami and the politics and the drugs and Mariel, and before that and after that, and the anti-Semitic original developers and Carl Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
I'm halfway through the book. I imagine I'm on the ship and I was praying for the days at sea. So I could read.
So you can read the book.
So
That's
I could
awesome.
read. And
That's
then they said,
awesome.
don't you want to go down and we're going to go to the gym? And I said, I'll go to the gym later. I got to finish another 3 or 4 chapters.
That's awesome.
That's
and
so
every
cool.
time I finish one, so if you talk to him, tell him that he has no bigger fan than me.
Yeah,
Because
well,
I tell you what, he doesn't cut any corners.
So
No.
you should listen to the podcast with Gerald and Trisha, right?
Yep, Trisha Posner. Yep.
And they joined us after I read the book. Lyle Stern, do you know Lyle Stern? Lyle
No.
Stern knows Gerald, and they connected us. And then we had Gerald and Trisha on the podcast with us. So happy to connect you with it. They're wonderful people. They're like so hip and so cool.
Straight
Oh, yeah.
language, straight English. They don't try to, bend it and twist it and stuff. It's just straight out. I mean,
Raw.
he talks about the nightclubs that we all
Yeah.
went to, and then the cocaine era. But
Yeah.
I've been through that already. So we're
Your favorite era?
oh my gosh, how I am here is by the grace of God. I always say that.
Oh, man.
Ben, you know what they say in real estate, if people don't know you, they're not doing business with you.
Exactly. That's why the Built World podcast works with top-of-mind public relations, because being a best-kept secret sure doesn't pay the bills.
Paula Uspa Abbott, the brains behind Top of Mind PR, is a former real estate journalist, so she knows exactly what makes the media pay attention.
And let's be real, getting in the press isn't just about bragging rights. It's about building credibility, landing deals, and making sure the right people know your name.
Whether it's top-tier media coverage, killer storytelling, or just making sure you're the one people think of first, Top of Mind PR has you covered.
Want to stand out? Hit up topofmind-pr.com or email info@topofmind-pr.com.
Because in real estate, if you're not visible, you're invisible. So we're going to do some rapid-fire questions with you, George.
You bet.
So we're doing cafecito, or we're doing, do we need a coffee?
I'm good. Well, I mean, I'll have an espresso.
We got a little
first one,
espresso
but
there.
Yeah, we got espresso here. We can fire it up.
Yeah, let's fire it up because
I got one of those at home, and
we call this the Built World Hot Shots. You got to either do tequila or a cafecito shot with us. So looks like you're wimping out and doing cafecito, but we're not going to hold it against you.
But I am back in town now, so when you do have the cafecito things, I'm hitting the bright line coming down because
All right.
We're doing the next one at the Bright Line, right?
We're doing the next one at the Bright Line.
I met the most fantastic people there.
Oh, that's awesome.
One of the guys who does the marketing for this MG group.
Yeah.
He and I met there, and he approached me again today, and we're going to get together and meet with his guys and stuff. So,
well, I'll
it's
tell you,
always
George,
something good.
we enjoy crossing paths with you. It's always a good laugh. We saw you at the Biz Now event a few weeks ago,
Yeah, you get around, George.
Yeah, you do.
You're out here.
I for no other reason that I enjoy meeting people so much and find out who's doing what. Like we had a group of developers come to our office. I'm on my way there this afternoon to a big project that I'm supposed to not talk about. And I met the guy, and the best way I could answer when they said, well, you guys are pretty darn busy and this and that. I said, you know what? We don't need a stitch of work or anything. We don't even need you guys to even. I said, I hope that doesn't sound like what it sounded like, but we don't need you guys. But you guys seem to want to do something really exciting, so we're in. We'll try. We'll put together a proposal and everything else because that's what we're looking for. It's just that's the only claim to fame we have anymore. It's like doing only no cool shit work for shit people.
Yeah. Cool shit only.
Only stuff. I mean. And it has to be for people that are going to be fun, that we're going to go out later on and have drinks with and stuff. If not, we're not doing it.
We have the same strict no asshole policy.
No
douchebags on the podcast.
No.
Why? Right? Life's too short.
That's not necessary. Yeah. It's not necessary. I was being critical of a bunch of people. Everybody lives inside this shit.
Oh yeah.
Phone.
And there's no and I love meeting people. I know even when I pull out my business card and they look at me like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And they take pictures of my thing here.
There's something about a business card that I enjoy. Like I just like
something
having
tangible,
it. Like it's something that when I'm done with my day, I go back to my computer, I look at their business card, we'll look at their website, I'll put them into my CRM system.
You do exactly
the logo that they have on their business card, the touch of the business card. I don't know. I'm old school like that. Maybe.
In fact, I have a card scanner on my phone. I don't use it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I want to go back and remember the person's name. I want to type it in.
Yeah.
I don't have my secretary do it. I do it myself, and then I write down on the card. And on the note space of the contact, I write down met at podcast so and so. And to me and then it bothers me when I don't remember people. There's a guy a little bit ago who came to me and approached me and says, "I've been to your office twice. Don't you remember me?" And I said, "Terrible." And then of course this other girl comes by and she is like a great looking girl.
Of course you remember her.
And I said, "Cecilia, how are you?" The guy said,
"We met at 2:32 on November 20th of 2013.
Yeah, the guy looks at me and he says, "How come you remember her and not me?" I said, "Are you shitting me?"
Ben, you and I are all about PropTech, and if there's one tool we absolutely cannot live without for a commercial real estate brokerage business, it's Vista.
Absolutely. Vista is incredible. We use it every single day, and we're always wondering, how do they do this? Every evening we get an email from them with real-time closed transactions. No more waiting around for months for the property appraiser to finally update.
Yeah, whether you're doing industrial, retail, office, land deals, they have every closed transaction. And it's not just the speed, Ben. The details are on point. Seller and buyer info, contact details, phone numbers, emails, everything is accurate.
It's hands down our top prospecting tool to farm for warehouse deals in Hialeah. Vista keeps us one step ahead always. It's also the best way to search for comps when putting together opinions of values for clients.
Head on over to Vista.com and use code BuiltWorld and get 30 days free access today. VIZZDA.com. All right, let's get into the rapid fire.
All right.
Fire away, Ben.
Most overhyped neighborhood in Miami.
Wynwood.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Wynwood might be the number one.
Wynwood's the winner. And we're sitting right in the middle of it right now.
We are. We're dead center. So flip that. What's the most underrated neighborhood in Miami?
Morningside.
Morningside.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Great call.
I grew up in both of those areas. And I used to not be allowed to drive my bike through Wynwood because I would never come out the other side with my bike.
Yeah.
You grew up in Morningside?
No, I grew up in Liberty City.
Oh, I know. That's what I thought we were talking about. But you said you grew up in both those areas.
I used to swim for the Morningside AAU team.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. So
I used to go to the park there all the time. Great park.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I run through that park twice a week, so I love that area.
Really? I used to go there and during the summer and play ping pong on my son goes to Amsterdam for summer. I used to go to Liberty City and play ping pong on a piece of plywood with the net was no net. It was a 2x4. And my son is in Amsterdam. So there's a disparity going on. Yeah?
I bet.
We got to humble these kids a little bit. Yeah. They got it too good. What's the worst development trend you've seen lately?
The worst development trend that I'm seeing?
Yeah. What's the worst development trend?
there's a lot of variations on the theme.
Padel courts?
Well, what's that?
Padel courts? Paddle courts?
Well, yeah, that's kind of, I don't even play that stuff. I tried it a couple of times. And the only thing I like about paddleball is that, and that padel thing, I haven't played that one, but it's that you can drink while you're doing it.
Yeah, I guess that's a nice thing.
There's a lot to be said for that.
But where were you going before Felipe rudely interrupted you? What's the worst design development trend?
Right. That there's a lot of variations on the theme. I can drive, and I can usually pick out who did what, and then or what looks like something that's already been done. It's amazing. And I don't want to use names because I never would speak about competitors, but we're always trying to. Our biggest goal is that when you drive by one of our buildings, you can't identify that it was done by us, just that it's goddamn good.
It's unique and it can stand on its own.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that it's
no signature emblem needed.
Nothing, and none of that stuff about, let's just do the railing and look up, and then, and it looks like the squiggly balconies, and it's the same shit plan with a different facade, different day. And so, not to be critical, but I think, and when I went to school, I was taught by great professors who would inspire us to do buildings that are more than facade, that they're buildings that exist holistically. You know, I went to Bilbao recently. One of the things I did, I went to see the Bilbao Museum by Frank Gehry.
Yeah,
and I gotta tell you, I mean, bored the shit out of me because it's inside it's pretty cool, but when you go and you see it's all for the sake of picturesqueness on the outside, and
it does not engage with the surrounding neighborhood at all.
No, it's an egocentric building that's very interesting. I must say.
It's an interesting building.
And you drive by,
you're right by the river
pictures.
there too.
Yeah.
You know, but I
but then you leave there. For instance, you see that, and then you go to Barcelona, or you go to Athens, and you see the Calatravas Olympic Stadium, and you go, oh, wait a second, wait. Okay, now
we're talking.
Now we're talking, right? I mean, something that carries it out holistically, not just facade on on a plan. And I see too much of that. So we're pursuing. I'm here to find clients and people who want to do things that are truly unique to them. That you can't do it just by designing it correctly. It has to be economical. It has to be construction savviness. It has to be involved, and those comprehensive notions are our goal. Because to do just good, pretty picture work, it's just that doesn't do it for us anymore.
Love it. Some of you might know that I'm in the middle of building a Live Local project right now, and finding an internet provider was way more annoying than it should have been. Endless acronyms, pricing all over the place, and me chasing these guys for proposals. Then luckily, I came across Celerity Fiber, South Florida's boutique internet provider for new developments and multifamily communities. Working with them feels like working with a company your friend owns. They actually answer calls and texts, send quotes fast, and are genuinely great to work with. Celerity designs and installs fiber internet built for modern living. Fast, reliable, and ready from day one. From luxury high-rises to affordable communities, they deliver high-speed, scalable internet with white glove service and local support. The kind big internet service providers just can't match. So if you want to future-proof your property and keep your residents happy, check out celerityfiber.com. That's spelled Celerity, fiber.com, and let them know the Built World sent you. Celerity Fiber, powering connections, elevating experiences. What's the smart money doing that people haven't noticed yet?
Looking into off-site construction and prefabrication. And I mean, from the construction side.
Yeah, I love that. Great take.
And I think that we are so behind. I spoke at the Construction Association just recently, and you'd think that with the amount of technology we have, the fact that still in our field of construction and architecture, we're still designing buildings that people are building with one 8-inch by 8-inch by 16-inch concrete block, one on top of the other. Are you serious? We're still doing construction that way.
Yeah.
And our buildings leak. And you go to Detroit and you see robotics at work building cars, and I bet you your car doesn't leak.
Yeah.
Like, cars don't leak. Our buildings do. And because we haven't learned enough about using our technologies. And I think that the world of construction and architecture is still so very far apart. We got to bring it together. I was just talking to some of my construction colleagues. We got to stop that.
You know, Felipe, ever since we moved into Bureau, my productivity has been through the roof. I mean, I might actually be getting things done for once.
The energy at Bureau just makes work fun. Plus, with 8 locations across South Florida, from South Miami all the way to Hollywood, there's no excuse for not finding a spot to get your shit done, Ben.
And we're not alone. Over 500 local companies call Bureau home. Everything from creative agencies and real estate firms to tech startups, law firms, and media companies. It's a melting pot of brilliant people, and we don't include ourselves in that category.
We definitely don't include ourselves in that category. Bureau really has space for anyone, whether you're flying solo or have a team. There are suites starting at 100 square feet all the way up to 2,000 square feet. They also don't try to lock you into long-term agreements, and everything is month to month.
Let's not forget the important stuff either. The coffee is top tier, staff is incredible, and has a very entrepreneurial vibe. It's not just a workspace, it's a place where work actually gets done.
That's right, Ben. So if you want to level up your workday like we try to do every day, check out Bureau. You might even catch us sipping some espressos between podcast sessions.
Or tequila.
Definitely tequila.
Tell Bureau the Built World sent you, and you'll get 50% off your first month's membership. See you out there. Cheers.
Later. So have you seen this? I think Coastal Construction is involved with it.
Togo.
Pat
Murphy is doing that.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Pat Murphy, he's the younger generation, right? I want to get him on the podcast too.
You should. He is. Not only is he a great guy, he's very charismatic, very intelligent.
He's the Chief Innovation Officer at Coastal Construction.
That's the title, Chief Innovation Officer?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's pretty sick to have that title.
And so
he's been.
They've been touching a little bit of software. They've been doing these they're like plastic cinder blocks, right?
Pretty much.
They look like Lego blocks.
Yes.
Have you interacted with that at all? What do you think they're?
We are working together. Pat and I have been friends for a long time.
What's the name of the company?
Togal, I think it's called Togal. I think it is.
Okay.
I just ran into him a little bit ago, and we're having lunch next week to talk about the fact that now we can begin to apply it. It's just so difficult to get clients to buy into it, and construction companies to buy into it. And so that's why I think he's still trying to alienate himself a little bit from Coastal, because it's not about Coastal. This is a new product.
Yeah.
And we're doing a couple of projects that the only way these projects are going to get built, we're doing a huge project in the mountains of North Carolina. The only way we're going to be able to pull it off.
Where are you guys going to the Cuban Alps?
Pretty much there. You know, we do.
Where in the Cuban Alps are you guys going?
There's mud skiing up there.
Yeah.
Where there's no snow.
Where's this
wait
project?
for the heavy rains. It's in Hayesville, North Carolina, called Bear Lake. It's a 3,000-acre project, and we need to prefabricate things to get it up the 4,000 feet of altitude and build it efficiently.
Is that near Asheville?
Yes. Between Asheville and Cashiers.
Okay. You know that's called the Cuban Alps, right?
No, I didn't know that. Really? Why is that?
Because so many Cubans have bought mountain homes there. And apparently in like the 90s and the 80s, Cubans started driving up there and they're like, oh, this is the first mountain, so we started buying property here. So it's now referred to as the Cuban Alps.
You're serious about that? Because I don't know. Come on, man. I have a piece of property there, so now I'm part of the Cuban Alps.
You're part of it,
you're probably one of the...
I'm one of the Alpine greats.
The gentrifiers of the Cuban Alps.
You're a Cuban alpinist.
Yeah, I'm in the Alpine business.
Oh, I love that.
What's up, Builties? We're interrupting the podcast because we want to make some money together with you guys. We have a lease coming up that we're representing the landlord on. It's in East Hialeah. This thing is sweet, Ben.
It's a really sick warehouse. I mean, probably one of the nicest warehouses we've ever... It is the nicest warehouse we've ever been in.
Probably been the nicest warehouse we've ever been in.
This thing's got 25,000 square feet of total space, 5,000 feet on 2 floors of Class A office. I mean,
Class A-ish, industrial.
Dude, no, this is sick. This is a sick office.
It is a sick office.
It's the sickest office I've seen in industrial space.
Yeah.
Marble floors, really nice bathrooms. These guys built it out for themselves, but aren't ready to occupy this space yet, so they hired us to find a short-term tenant looking for a 3-year lease term on this thing. $18 a foot modified gross. The 20,000 square feet of the industrial space has 19-foot clear ceiling heights, and everything's brand new. Brand new LED lighting. Everything's clean. 2,400 amps of power, 3-phase, more than you could ever use. It's a beast.
Fully air conditioned too.
Fully AC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're looking for a short-term lease. They're super reasonable. If you got a tenant, reach out to us.
Cheers. Who's a designer or an architect that's doing fresh work that you appreciate right now? Anyone come to mind that's doing...
Other than us?
Other than you.
Other than you guys.
Yeah. You're the default answer. So.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be Miami either.
No. I am a big fan of Bjorn Engels for two reasons. I think that he does do things that are more than facade work, and so we admire that. Obviously, I think what happens is that I'm also a little jealous that he's got these commissions that if we had, I think that, we would be really pretty happy with. But I like that. I like the work that he's doing. And even old-timers like Tadao Ando is doing some stuff and some museum work and some crazy-ass work. In Spain, I met a couple of architects, and I forget their names, that they're very, very... The Ricardo Bofill, who used to be with, I don't know if he's still even around, Taller de Arquitectura in Spain, are doing some great work in the coast and in places like Bordeaux. I saw some great contemporary work. As much as Bordeaux is very, very period pieces there, it's amazing how great some of the architecture that is being done, that's new work, it's not trying to emulate, like we try to, in Boca Raton, everybody wants it to look like something like Meisner did.
Yeah.
Forget that shit. I mean, what the hell is Meisner, right?
Let's move on,
he
right?
never really did that much.
Yeah.
That was good anyway. But I'm sure I'm going to regret having
By
said
the way,
that.
have you read Bubble in the Sun?
No.
You should read that one too.
What is it called?
Bubble in the Sun.
No.
And that's like the precursor to Miami Babylon.
By him?
No, it's by someone else. I can't remember who it was, but it's called Bubble in the Sun, and it's really talking about Miami and South Florida in the 1910s, 1920s.
Wow.
And you'll appreciate that because it talks a lot about Meisner. It talks a lot about what's his name, Fisher.
Carl Fisher, what a guy.
And Merrick. Yeah, and listen, really, Fisher, that guy was a fucking party animal. And he's the one that kind of brought like this fly-by-night sort of attitude to Miami Beach, right? And that kind of has maintained in our culture here in Miami.
He did, yeah. You can hate him as much as you want because he was so anti-Semitic and everything else. But, there's no good that doesn't have a bad that preceded it.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, you have to give it credit for that.
He was a race car driver, a boat racer.
If he wasn't such a prick, he wouldn't have been such a success, right?
Well, but he died penniless.
Yeah.
He died penniless, and so did Meisner, I believe, and so did Merrick.
All of them.
Yeah, they all over-leveraged and, died.
Well, because, I guess when the dream gets big enough that you feel that it's impossible to fail.
Yeah.
Is when you get caught off guard. Look, just like my dad said, my dad would always say, the reasons we lost Cuba because we're so freaking stupid. We were sitting there going to Tropicana, getting drunk, playing cubilete at the bar every Wednesday night, and while this country was being taken over, and we weren't paying attention, and all of a sudden we go, oh shit, we got to go.
Yeah.
Time to go.
And then I ended up here.
Yeah.
Not a bad place to end up.
Well, not a bad. No. The road less traveled became the road more traveled, and it's fine by me. By the way, I can't wait just to close that out with the, and I was talking to David Martin the other day, this business that they've done the museum inside the Freedom Tower for the Cuba, the plight and the refugees and stuff. I'm going to host my daughter, my son, their kids, my wife, my sister, and I'm going to invite them all together to go have a Cuban dinner after we go and spend a day at the museum.
Nice.
So that everybody can find out where the hell we came from.
So speaking of that, Cuban dinners, where is the to-go Cuban spot for Cuban restaurant here in Miami?
I'm so embarrassed to tell you that I don't know the answer to that. I've been recommended these two places. One of them, which it's a Havana something. Havana 59 or something like that.
Okay. No.
And it's a Cuban restaurant that has also, it's all home-cooked dinners and Cuban music.
Yeah.
1957.
So even if the food is something like that.
Yeah. It's on Lincoln Road, I think.
What's the one that we went to in Little Havana?
It's not Versailles, but the other one where all the
La Carreta?
No, it was in East Hialeah.
It was in East Hialeah.
I mean, it was tremendous.
Where all the vaqueros went.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Yeah, Hialeah's got some great stuff.
Yeah.
Islas Canarias is one that's there too.
It wasn't East.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. All right. What's the one thing you love about Miami? What's your favorite thing about the 305?
Yeah, I think the fact that it's such a culture mix, such a culture pot, and that the truth is that, I laugh because I went to see a comedian that was just the best when he said, the thing with Miami, the problem is that all these Americans come here and they don't speak the language.
Yeah.
and my wife comes with me down here, and she goes to a restaurant with me, and the guy starts speaking to her, and she said, he's asking her, what would you like? And she goes, well, I don't know, what is it, you having a special today and stuff? And the guy looks at me like, what's this woman talking about? And so I like the most that it's its own country.
Yeah.
New York City is New York City, but it's full of Americans, right? Miami is full of everything, but I think that the Latin flair from the Spaniards, the South Americans, the Cubans before, and then the Cubans after, that mix of all that, I think it just makes it a great cultural, everybody calls it the melting pot. I'm about melting pot. I just think it's so animated, and that it's pretty good. I mean, most really big cities have a really huge problem of some sort. I don't know if Miami has any really huge problems. There's not a lot of rapes and murders everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have our share here, but I love to come down for the weekend. It's entertainment. It's good entertainment. My sister lives in Key Biscayne. I have friends in Coral Gables, and I love to come down here and visit because I think it's just a city that it's taking over.
Yeah.
It's taking over. I mean, I know there's Tokyo and Paris and Madrid and stuff, but look out.
The restaurant, by the way, was Molina's.
Oh, Molina's, yeah.
Molina's,
yeah. I've heard about it. I have not been there.
This episode is brought to you by Built World Advisors. Yeah, that's us. We're not your typical commercial brokerage. We combine deep market knowledge with a media platform that actually connects to people doing deals, the developers, brokers, architects, and attorneys.
Let's not forget the investors, Ben. From warehouses in East Hialeah to off-market gems in Allapattah, we help you find value where others aren't looking. If you're tired of waiting for opportunities to land in your inbox, let's talk.
Built World Advisors, real estate for the people who get shit done. You can check us out at builtworldadvisors.com.
When you were traveling through Europe for 3 weeks and people, when you said, hey, I'm from Miami, what was their reaction?
They're intrigued. They really think that you're something special.
Yeah.
And I went to visit, and I learned about the paradors. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. They are like 5-star hotels that are owned by the government, and they call them paradors because this is where you stop, and they're usually in historic places or old monasteries converted into hotels and stuff. And I met these Spanish people there, and the Spaniards are a special breed. My family is from Granada.
Oh, nice.
So and a combination Granada and Cuban from the grandparents' side, and Spain still hits home.
Yeah,
hits home. The Spaniards are as close as it gets.
Yeah.
Without being Cuban,
Well, it's been awesome, George. Thanks for joining us.
It's always great to catch
up
with you,
good to be with you guys.
Glad you came by. We ran into you, and hope to see you again soon.
I hope so.
We'll see you at Cafecito Club.
Count on me.
All right.
Count on me. You guys do a great job, and you deserve nothing but accolades.
Thank you, George.
Appreciate it.
George.
Have a great afternoon.
Cheers.